Voted Albuquerque's #1 podcast for a third straight time. You're listening to the 3-time champions 10-drink minimum with Chris, Billy, Smiley, and Tommy.
Is my mic on? Okay. We actually don't have Tommy again. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Tommy. Little Tommy.
And I don't know how single people in their 30s celebrate, but I'm telling you right now that I fucking take a week to do that shit.
Yeah, when it's your birthday, man, you get it on. People are like,
I don't like birthdays after 30 because it's like bad, and I'm like, fuck you.
I have coworkers that refuse to acknowledge it, that that they're a year older. And I think at some point, I mean, I'm 37, maybe 38. I'll be like, you know what? I'm still 29. I think I do remember, like, as a child, my mother, for the longest time, she'd be well into her 30s, and I'm a little kid, and she's like, yeah, it's my 29th birthday. It's like, Mom, that's old.
I'm 29.
That's old, Mom.
I'll be turning 29 again.
Hello, ladies and germs. That's that weird, shitty old people humor.
I turned 30 like 3 times in a row.
3 times in a row. See, you're
no
one of those.
noticed.
You're one of those. Oh, you don't even make the joke out of it. You're serious. You're like, I'm 30, and people are like, oh, right on.
You're like, wow. Well, I started doing it when I was 27, so like fish for compliments.
Yeah.
People will be like, wow, you look really good for 30. And then the next year, like, they completely forget it. Damn, you look really good for 30, James. And if I tell them 30, they're like, aren't you like 35 now? Are you sure?
Wait a minute.
I'm just 30.
I have pictures that say happy 30th birthday, James. Last year. Come on, man.
I don't know, because Smiley is really good at doing 2 things. 1, not sitting, and 2, dodging the how old are you question. Because there are people that, if you're drunk downtown or just drunk in general and asking Smiley, the discussion like veers to how old you are, Smiley will not tell you. It took me probably 3 years to find out how old he actually was.
I think we did it the Halloween show last year, and he's like, well, I have to use my passport, so you guys are going to fucking find out how old I am.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I was like, well...
But then when I did find out, I was like, oh, okay, all right.
So Smiley came in like right at the last minute, and I was like worried I didn't know he was gonna make it, and he was like, "Man, I fucking worked my ass off the last 2 days. Can you tell us a little bit about that?"
Yeah, this is my first. Well, I've had a runway modeling show before, but I've never had like a full-on like fashion show. Like I've had like little boutique things.
Well, Billy and I have not had any experience in that either. Oh, yeah.
So it was... And I've also, I've worked on movie sets where, you're like, there's a 16-hour day, and it's a whole lot of the hurry up and stop stuff,
Oh,
I
feel your pain, Smiley.
But wait. It's like, hurry up. All right, you need to sit here for 4 hours. But I didn't realize, like, if you're modeling... You don't get to sit down. You don't get to eat. You can't touch your face or your hair. You can't touch your clothes.
I thought if you were a model, you never got to eat. Ever.
There's only one. Yeah. You don't get to do any of that, and there's a higher percentage of herpes in the modeling community.
Is that true? Why?
As well as in Hollywood.
Why is that?
Is that why we don't touch each other?
No, it's because they're all hot and everyone's sleeping.
Oh.
It's just the higher level of sexual activity that goes on. So
you saying these ugly people don't bang?
I'm saying normal people don't bang as much as celebrities and hot people do.
That's weird.
Who could find the time, man? I mean, I was exhausted.
What did you have to do? I mean, you were just runway?
We did a runway show, but we also did 3 photo shoots during the day. Like, we did single photo shoots for each person, and we did some group photo shoots. And we did some, out, on the plaza, and then some with different... It was all day long. I had to stay in model mode,
Yeah.
But there was babes there, though, right? You could scope them out, kind of
talk
to
them.
them.
Babes, yeah, real hot babes.
Kind of talk to them like some honey dips.
You're all, hey, how's it going?
I suppose so. If
Hi,
I wasn't
I'm Smiley. I don't eat either.
Spending the whole time being pretty myself.
Yeah. I'm pretty. You're pretty. Let's make pretty children. Oh, sorry. Pulled out.
Also,
and now I have herpes.
Also, I have...
Yeah, right. Now I have herpes.
I don't know if you knew this, but I just got a girlfriend, so...
Wait, whoa.
I was not...
Crash on I-40. Whoa, hold on. Say this again. You have a girlfriend.
I have a girlfriend.
Full-fledged, like this isn't like a week long.
I spent the whole weekend with her, like at
Okay.
her house, and
Do we know this person?
I kind of know her. And
You knew about this.
I knew about this.
You hid this from me.
The thing
Well,
is,
we've
there's
been
certain
dating for a
things
while.
I hide from Chris because no, there's some things that you don't want ridiculed.
Why would I ridicule Smiley for having a girlfriend?
Because you were like, whoa, hold the brakes.
Well, because this
What's
is
What's his name?
I did not say what's his name. That was you. That was you. That was you.
No, that's something
Well,
you kind of expect Chris to say.
No,
So
see,
everyone-
and that's Chrisist. You're a Chrisist. You know, I would have not. I was like all excited. I was like, ooh, who is this person? I want to know. I have not seen Smiley intertwined with a woman recently. So, I mean, do I know her? No.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because you're hiding it from
Man,
me.
I know she is. I know what she
Oh,
looks like. Is what I'm saying.
Throw the phone number out real quick.
Oh yeah,
We have a call-in number.
This is a call-in show. If you ever have any questions for us, any topics for us, please call in. It's area code 505-663-8092.
Rolls right off the tongue. So you
So,
have a girlfriend.
so
Nice.
congratulations, Smiley. It's been a long time. Because guys, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Because one, Smiley is I
A
guess,
model. I don't know how this is not working out for him like every other day.
You just don't see him with chick.
You know.
You don't see him with a chick like on his arm all the time.
No.
I don't know why that is.
I think he's like me. We're kind of slow to the. We're slow. But we're like slow in the brain. We just don't. We're not. There's guys that are fast. There's guys that are slow. We're slow.
I'm normally pretty asexual. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
well,
right.
then
I'm
never
like-
mind. I'm slow and he's something else.
Yeah, I just don't normally. I'm not.
Something else entirely.
I'm not normally attracted to anyone sexually.
Okay.
So it's few and far between.
It's very common in Japan.
Very common in Japan.
Well, it's like
He has Smiley's partner is a large female body pillow.
I have a cat.
A cat. Okay.
He's my son. And
Okay.
my mom has decided that that's as close as she's going to get to a grandchild from me.
Oh, okay.
meaning Smiley's not gonna nut inside somebody anytime soon.
Wow. Graphic.
Wow, I know, right?
I've been saying that a lot. Just bust nuts. Just bust them all.
I don't know how women don't like freak out on that when you say it. I think they're just kind of like, "Oh, Billy, you're so nice. You're just being a jokester."
And I say it all the fucking. It's like there's bust nuts.
Such a jokester.
Oh yeah, Billy. The thing is, it's kind of one of those things. You kind of have to be as non-threatening as possible. And then when it's time to try to make a move, then that's how it works.
You gotta bust some nuts.
You gotta get your nut
Yeah.
busted.
So Smiley, I did an acting role today
Oh, did you? I think I saw a little post for that.
in a movie. You guess what my character name was?
Who?
Billy Belmont. I was
Yeah.
officially Billy Belmont in a movie today. That was my character name.
Okay, so today I finished the last song for the Furries movie because I say the last song because it's already completed, but they had to redo a shot on account of a song not being approved by the whatever RC, I don't know, whatever, some studio said no, you cannot use this song.
You're not using it.
And so I get a call from the director, Kendra Tuthill, and
She was the one on the show last week.
and she says, Billy, I need your help. I need 7 seconds worth of music for a segue we're doing from one scene to the other.
Oh yeah.
And it's just going to be you, maybe with a guitar, cowboy hat. We're looking for a Western feel, and what's going to happen is we're going to shoot 3 seconds of you at the most.
No.
And I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah. Billy he did not like that. I was like shocked at that.
And so even on the show, even before the show started, I didn't want to be on camera. I was like, I'm going to sit in my normal spot, camera off me. And he's like, no, Billy, you're
on the show.
You're on the show. And I say this because a week ago, I was a part of the Indiegogo film campaign filming.
Yeah.
And they were asking me questions, and I would start sweating, and it was just bad news. I look like awkward.
Yeah,
I look like fucking Michael Cera, lost his cat.
Yeah.
And it was awful. So, and I was worried about. I've been stressed out about it because one, I had to write a new song, and then it wasn't coming along as well as I thought it was, and two, it was like, fuck, I'm gonna be on.
Well, you were writing a song under the gun.
Yeah, under
which
the gun
is not usual for you. Usually,
that's-
you're like, I'm writing a song to my, my pace.
If you want, it'll be ready when it's ready.
Yeah.
And so I had today. 3 o'clock was the day I'm supposed to film, and the song's supposed to be ready.
Right.
So Chris is out here editing all morning, doing his thing.
I'm actually editing last week's hour 2, and I hear you playing this weird fucking song.
Yeah.
And I thought you were just fucking around. And I was like, what are you playing? And like,
And it was weird Italian guitar.
little
mandolin.
did I know that would be my fate later in the day.
Little Chris, no, that was the song that I had to get done by 3 o'clock today.
And it would intertwine my life to be known forever.
And so, and I guess on the credits, it would have been Billy Belmont as himself, but I am too much of a chicken shit to actually be in front of the camera.
I acted today. I put on a Western shirt and a cowboy hat and a guitar, and I
Pretended to be Billy.
Singing one of my songs
in a movie. Like, I'm going to be in a movie singing one of Billy's songs.
So
they're going to dub his voice over me. And I had to basically lip sync his song.
Because I was too scared to be on camera.
It was interesting because you always growing up, I don't know, as a kid, people always want to act or do shit in movies, and I mean, this isn't by any means whoa, but it is work. It is, there is work to it because you get up there, and I always wonder how the director what they actually do. I mean, I understand they direct the film, but they actually literally tell you what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. She was like, okay, I need you to stand, there's a piece of tape, there's 2 pieces of tape on the floor. I need you to stand right there, and I need you to look into this camera and play the guitar, act like you're playing the guitar, because I can play the guitar not decently, terribly, but
enough to fake it.
Enough to fake it.
He can play Creeds with arms wide open.
Correct.
So I'll just switch from one chord to another,
I can play some
whatever.
Tom Petty or Bob Dylan songs, but so I had to put my hand, but I couldn't play the high notes like they wanted for this, so I had to be lower on the fretboard. So I had to act like it. And then it's funny because they were she's like, you need to be a little cheesier, look into the camera more, and keep the guitar this angle because of the light, because of the shadow. So I'm like, oh, I had to worry about where the guitar was for shadow, play it quickly, act like I'm playing it, and then try to get my mouth to do the exact movements that it would for those words. And I was like, man, this is kind of I have a little bit more respect for some actors because this is this is a lot of things I have to do.
Imagine doing that for 8 hours. That's what I did yesterday.
Right. Oh, you did? For fashion show?
Because we had this runway loop.
Yeah.
And I had there was tape on the ground.
Yeah.
I had to count exactly how long between each tape point. I
Turn
couldn't
you
go
up a little bit. I can't hear you on the thing.
I couldn't go faster
There you go.
than my marks. I had to make sure I stayed at my marks
Yeah.
and hit all 3
Do you get
camera
paid pretty
angles.
well for that?
This time I got paid.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it was, yeah.
Because I mean, and then she's like, I don't like this light. They had this LED light, and it was fine. And she's like, I don't like it. It's not good, and we're running out of battery on it. Let's get this one, and they plug in this other one, and it's the fucking sun pointing at my face.
Apparently, the bulb itself only lasts 6 hours.
Yeah, it only lasts 6 hours.
It's so hot.
And if you put something near it, it'll melt it. So hot. And they have that just pointing at me, and I have 2 shirts on, and it's pretty damn hot right now in Albuquerque. But it was, at the end of the day, it was really fun. It was really fun to do, and it was interesting because they did this thing where they have to act like it's a TV show, so they have to act like it's a multi-camera, but they only had 1 camera, so they had to direct me I'm standing there, and at certain parts they filmed me doing my act. And then she's like, okay, we're going to do another one. But this time, when I point to the left, you look at them. They had a mark on the wall, and I had to turn and look at that as if I was turning to look at another camera.
That's the pretend camera.
Right. So then when I did that take for 3 takes, where they were like, okay, now look over at it. Now come, and then I would sing for a little while, and then they were like, come back. Cool. So then we stopped. And they didn't reposition the camera because I was in front of a green screen, right? This is all green screen.
Oh, okay.
So then I had to reposition my body and look forward. But now I'm not. Now the camera itself is to the left of me, right? So I'm sitting. So then they had me restart, and I had to sing and do my act. And then they were like, look to the left. So then I had to look to the camera. So that was now camera 2, really. So when they edit it all together, I'll look from one way to the other, and it'll switch angles.
The illusions of
The illusion
film
of food. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I mean, it was really cool, you know. So, you know, seeing that it works, like I can watch a movie. The weird thing about me is that, like, I have a really good idea of how things work, and I can reverse engineer things, and I see that kind of stuff. But just like watching people do it, I liked it a lot, you know. I understand, like, when I watch a movie, I'm like, oh, this is how they did that. I know I could figure out how they did it. You know, for the most part. There are some things you're like, holy shit, how did they do that, you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So.
The thing is, the entire time, I'm just eating a sandwich, and I'm so relieved at this point that I don't have to be on camera, that I'm just dancing around and just drinking my soda and eating the catered food they had.
Well, see, I thought was funny about
Here
that.
you go, Billy. Have a sandwich.
That is like the two opposites of us. Billy is like, man, I do not want to do this. And I'm like, hell yeah, I totally want to do this. I am like the person that's like, she's like, if you're nervous, I was like, no, don't worry about that.
No, she thought it was going to be the same experience that she was going to have to deal with another me at that point. So she was, very calming. It's like, okay, so Chris is like, fuck it.
No, what do you want me to do? Okay. she's like, now do more of this. Okay. I'm like, cool.
Oh man, I just
and then she was like, she would tell me what to do, and then I'd do that. Like, I'd try to do exactly what she said the next take, and she was like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. I'm like, right on. Like, yes.
But so I take that back. I was on camera for a few seconds.
Oh, this is what's funny. I mean, should we even tell this, or should we let it just?
We should probably let her if she.
I don't want to ruin that.
If she decides to come, then have her.
She might come by. So yeah, we don't want to ruin. There's maybe some tricks to it. So.
Yeah, we're just giving away all these looking
Hollywood
it was
a lot
secrets.
of fun, and I'm actually going to be in her next movie.
I'm
in
not.
September. I know. I'm excited about it. I kind of wrote the character a little bit. I think I was talking to her about it, and she goes, "Yeah, I went home and wrote everything that you told me," and I was like, "Nice." So I'm gonna play a butcher.
Nice.
An actual butcher, like a guy who does meat, not like a guy who kills, like, a whole bunch of people.
I know what a butcher is.
Oh, I know.
I've been craving like a steak and kidney pie
all
week.
When she goes, you'll play a butcher. I actually said to her, like a guy who does meat or a guy who's killed a bunch of people. So I don't know, He's the butcher of Bay.
Seriously, I've been having like the weirdest meat cravings this week.
Yeah?
Like, I've been wanting to make like a steak and kidney pie with like a suet pastry crust. How odd is that?
That is weird. I don't know what kidney tastes like. Is it good? I mean, apparently it is.
I've been craving it.
Huh.
Maybe it's because I have like my kidney stones acting up, and they're telling me to eat kidneys.
I saw you post that, and how is that? Are you in a lot of pain?
Have they passed it? Oh, you can just. The thing is, you can feel them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in there. And I have a coworker who takes medication, and one of the side effects is developing kidney stones.
Oh God.
And he's like, oh yeah, I feel it. It's in there.
I've had a friend that he had to pass some, and he said it was the most painful thing ever.
It was 16 hours of hell. I passed out twice.
This week?
No, the first kidney stone I passed.
Can't you like break them up like certain dietary things, like you can do apple juice?
The thing is, like, with a kidney stone, if you can catch it early enough, if you go to the hospital, it costs a lot of money, but you can have them zap it with.
And then there's also
I don't have a lot of money.
Like proactively get rid of them with like lasers or something.
Okay, I know that. Well, I know there's that, but I know there's also like the vibrating like tub thing.
There's stuff you can take.
Is that a thing? I mean, I've heard that. Like they put you in a tub of water and they vibrate it and it like breaks them up.
I have one of the hardest ones to get rid of.
Okay.
Because they're made out of iron.
Oh God.
So I will literally be peeing out a shard of metal.
Cool. And blood.
And of course it cuts its way through. So I'm not looking forward to it, but the early signs...
Maybe that's why Bryan Adams wrote that song, Cuts Like a Knife.
Cuts like a knife!
The early signs...
Like he's screaming.
It's like, you just need to pee for no reason. You need like spouts of that, and then like...
What do you mean pee for no reason? Like I haven't had water in 2 days. Why might I have to pee?
Well, no, like you just got done... You're like, you went to go pee.
Oh.
You got done peeing. You're like, damn, I really need to pee.
Again? Yeah.
Except, wait, I don't have any pee.
Oh.
It's like
I have never had these kidney stones.
I've had gallstones, and that shit's the worst because it gives you pancreatitis, and it's also. I hear this a lot, and I hate to say this because I've never given birth.
That's what I've heard. It's the equivalent.
It's the equivalent of giving birth to a child, and worse. And I had a coworker who
That's what I've heard.
and who had the same problem with pancreatitis, and she was like, "So how was your pain?" It's like, "I've had 3 kids, and that is by far the worst pain."
Really?
And so I said, "Well, I deal with that maybe twice a year."
You do?
The thing is, before when I
You
got
don't
my
have a
surgery,
pancreas now, do you?
I don't have a gallbladder.
Gallbladder. Sorry.
So anyway, so I dealt with this pain like frequently, and
Like the gallstones?
gallstones,
Yeah.
and pancreatitis. It blocks down your whatever your where the fucking the bile goes and how to break up food. It just blocks it, and then that's what gives you. And
So when someone goes, "You really have the gall, don't you?" and you go, "No."
yeah, I don't have the
Not at all.
the gall of this. I think, well, Billy doesn't have one. I don't have a gallbladder anymore. So yeah, so not to knock down ladies if you're giving birth, but if pancreatitis is the equivalent of giving birth, then I've given birth more. I've given like 10 times.
You've had some kids, man.
No, I've had some kids. Like I'm like 10 times, maybe six or 7 times.
He has them in jars, and he names them.
And this pain can last for like 8 to 10 hours until the gallstone passes.
Until it passes. Oh my! It was awful.
And it isn't. The thing is, once it passes and it just goes through and you poop it out. But the kidney stones. But the kidney stones is the pain through your dick, and that shit would be awful.
See, I thought that's the one. Like I've read online shit. I don't go to the doctor. I'm terrible about it. So whenever I read about things, like my friends like, man, I had kidney stones. They're fucking terrible. So immediately I go and read up. I'm like, how do I not get kidney stones? And if you drink a lot of apple juice, it'll fuck that shit up, I guess.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar is good.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff you can take. I don't work well with apples. Like if I have anything that's sweetened with apple juice, I get so much gas that it's uncomfortable.
Gotcha.
Oh gosh.
I'm talking like a glass of apple juice, and I'll be like, oh.
Man, oranges have been. I bought some oranges the other day. This is the grossest show right now. We're all medical. I bought some oranges the other day, and man, I love oranges, and I'd have 2, and the acid would just kick the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's there.
And
you're not supposed to eat them because it'll eat away at your enamel in your teeth.
Oh yeah.
And so
God
you'll
damn,
get
man.
yeah. So don't. I'm sorry. Oranges in moderation, because if you eat too much, you'll fucking get enamel through your teeth, get a shit ton of cavities,
and you'll have the acid to your stomach.
I get instant heartburn from apples. I'm sorry, from oranges.
Yeah.
There's a whole list. There's a whole list of fruits that I'm like.
I bought Pepto-Bismol because I bought a sack of oranges. That shit fucked me up, man. Getting old sucks balls, man.
Here's another thing. So if we're talking about our digestive tract, I played a show at Tractor, Friday for Youngsville CD release, Drought City, which is a great record. Turns out they make the milk stout with real milk, and I'm fucking lactose. And the thing is, I went to
really?
Yes, I am. I've always been, and because I need a small bit here, I need a bowl of cereal to be fine, or cheese, but I drank maybe 4 milk stouts.
You'll get some diarrhea, son.
And you're talking about, even later that night, I went to Launchpad for the show they had, and I kept looking around, and good thing it was windy outside, because I was farting for, God, every 5 minutes, and it was just like...
He's a farter.
It was awful, and I what the fuck I didn't even eat today. What's caught? Oh, it's the milk stouts.
Well, yeah, and I love milk. Milk is tastes so good, and I've probably has it been about a year maybe? I've gone milk free.
Yeah, you have.
Except for cheese, I've gone milk free for about a year now. I used to drink. I used to have a gallon of milk in the fridge at all times.
Oh, you're one of those people.
I was.
That actually drinks milk.
I was. And I love it, but I switched to, everybody's like, well, you got to go to soy milk, and soy. Soy. You hear oh, it's terrible for you, and for men, it's not really good because it's full of estrogen.
Phytoestrogens, yeah.
Yeah, so I switched to almond milk.
Oh, delicious.
And it is delicious.
It is.
And I have been drinking almond milk for over a year. So every once in a while, I'll run into milk, and I'll have some milk, and because I don't have a tolerance for it anymore. That one glass of milk will fucking kick my ass.
I think I just found out I got over my milk allergy.
Really?
sometime this year.
Well,
Like,
you-
I never,
You can get over it. It's one of those things. Like it just comes. The fucking thing about allergies is they come and go. Like
Yeah.
tomorrow, I may develop a fucking shrimp allergy, which would suck because I look and love shellfish
so
or
I've
whatever bottom feeding fish.
all
Going
this
to
week.
hail.
All this week, I've been having like vitamin D milk with my cereal, and
Oh,
like,
you're one of those
I
people.
I made pudding.
Pudding?
And
Oh, I haven't had
I was
pudding
having
either.
like fresh, like seriously, I was like, how far does this go? How far has this milk allergy really gone away?
And basically for me, it's like
I was
don't-
making my own whipped cream. I was like,
when
yeah,
you say when I think allergy, always think of your lungs closing up.
yeah,
I always think of like
No.
you getting itchy eyes or getting itchy all over, like hives. But
yeah.
for me, it's all just I just fart too much when I do, and
No.
it's very painful.
My throat gets itchy and starts closing.
Oh shit!
That was
yeah,
my
that's,
milk
that's
al-
an allergy then.
That was my milk allergy. I couldn't have fresh cheeses and anything with heavy cream. I still haven't had ice cream yet. I should
It
try
was
out ice
all a
cream.
dream. I still like Paula.
Then you get here and Smiley just has like hives all over his chest and he's just scratching himself. It's like,
I love ice cream.
oh, that would suck.
No, I love ice cream too. I never have it though. I don't know why.
I never have it because
There would
it used to make my throat close.
I got a milkshake maker from my sister, and
Yeah.
there was that week I was just making
For that whole
milkshake.
week, you're like, dude, we're gonna have milkshakes all the time. 1 week. It's been 1 week since we had the milkshaker.
It's been 1 week since I made a shake.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, this is like the digestive tract show.
Oh yeah,
Here's the things that make me have
You know,
diarrhea.
know what I miss about
No
the
longer
old
eat.
10 Drink Minimum shows
What's that?
was the titles you used to give them.
Oh, I still do.
It's because for a long time when we were doing the art bar, it was like art
Yeah.
bar with this person.
Yeah.
But before we would just have okay, this is the episode where Billy likes to talk about banging Taylor Swift all the entire time. Or this is the episode where Chris like pisses in
Yeah.
a jar of green chili and
Yeah,
talks
hates it.
about like
hates it.
he hates it.
No, I still do a little bit, because it's one of those things where because when people go on iTunes, I know me, I'll go on, like, if I still listen, like, I don't listen to podcasts as much as I used to because I don't have the time, number one, and number two, I don't like to, hear, I feel a lot of times when you hear someone else, you take things from them subconsciously, and so I don't like that either, but when I do, like, if I go on a trip, I'll download some, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to the ones I like, and since there's so many that I haven't heard, because I haven't heard them in a while, I'll go down through the titles and I'll read the shit. And so that's why
Okay.
that's why I'll put different names, and like Jay Moore is a big one, and I'll go down there and I'll be like, I don't know who that guy's a baseball player. I don't really. That's if I had nothing else, okay. Oh, he talked to Louis C.K. All right, cool. So I want people to go through our show and be like, oh, that's the show they talked about. What gives them diarrhea?
That was a good half hour. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, let's talk about modeling and acting. And oh, by the way, these are things we can't eat.
Yeah, these are things we cannot eat any longer.
This is what happens when
No more.
Billy is given birth 7 times. Audience,
Kind of.
10 Drink Nation. Should I be one of those shows?
Yeah. Welcome, 10 Drink Nation, to another episode of 10 Drink Minimum on the Mound. That'd be awesome.
Welcome 10 Drink Nation.
I would love, I want to get so famous where they let me call a baseball game. I'll be like,
Didn't they
Rodriguez
have...
is on the mound. He looks tired. He looks like he's been through hell. Oh, ball one.
That'd be funny. The thing is, I can't remember the actor's name, but I just recently watched Best in Show because it's on HBO Go.
Christopher Guest?
Yeah, Christopher Guest. But no, not Christopher
Oh.
Guest, but the guys who do the commentating at the dog show. You have the
Oh.
proper English dude, and then that guy just like,
Yeah.
hey, why don't they just put a top hat on one of these dogs?
Yeah.
And put a little cigar in there. Be like Sherlock Holmes.
Rodriguez, as you know, is a defector from Cuba. Recently, they dropped sanctions, so his whole ball 3. I love that kind of shit.
And I just met his wife. Really, god damn.
Oh yeah, that's the new thing. Is like all these commentators. They're like, well, Chadwick is 4th-year senior quarterback. Oh, they're doing a shot right now of his girlfriend in the crowd, and she's quite an attractive young woman. If I don't, that's like the big new thing. And like they're all getting in trouble for it.
I'm talking about guys,
Girlfriends, yeah.
girlfriends and spouses.
Because I get right now, it's like Stephen Curry's mom.
Oh yeah,
That's like the big thing.
if you look up Stephen Curry, it's like on Google. You put in
It-
Stephen and then Curry. It's you have Stephen Curry first, but the second one is Stephen Curry's mom.
Mom. Yeah, because she's hot.
She's
Gilf?
she is very attractive.
She's Gilfy.
Oh, she's a grandma.
She's grandma.
Wow.
Yeah. You know
younger?
Stephen Curry, he's a basketball player, and his mom's hot. And he's got a child, so she's his grandma. And she's, you know, she's like 50 something years old, and she looks amazing. Or maybe, yeah.
And
No,
the
maybe
dad.
she's like 48. I think maybe she's 48.
Anyway, she's smoking, and Stephen Curry's dad is just just
Dale
a
Curry.
normal looking dude.
I think they are not together anymore, though.
What?
No, I looked that up.
But they'll sit
'Cause I was
together
trying
at
to
games?
see, I was trying to see. I was like, well, is she married or what's going on? No, I'm just kidding.
That's where it comes down to.
Ah.
And the thing is, you have these, young celebrity stars now who
Yeah.
have I think Justin Bieber has attractive mom.
Oh, I don't know.
Ryan
Sheckler.
Ryan Sheckler has
Ryan
a really
Sheckler's
hot
mom. I used to watch that show, Life of Ryan, because his mom was hot. And then she'd always date like douchebags, of course,
Oh, is he like a divorcee kind of mom?
Oh yeah, because on his show, I could do. Here's my. You want to know my impersonation of Ryan Sheckler on his TV show? He's like, so before I go to the X Games, I need to go and see my dad. I've got to make sure that everything is okay, so that I can go on good terms. And like his dad is like, he's like kind of Dana White looking a little bit, but more bro. And his dad's like the why, like that was like they're like when we're doing this reality show, when he comes to you, you need to have lots of wisdom, It's totally.
Right. And they have that sit down with you on reality shows.
I'm sure they do, but
And I just know. Well, all I know is like a Mario Povich. You go in and they make you sound trashier.
yeah,
Like talk more shit about your girlfriend.
you need to amp that up a little bit. That's great, but
But call her a slut.
yeah,
And tell her she's
they
a
give
piece
you
of
the
trash.
compliment sandwich. They're like, well, you're doing very well on being loud. We like that. But what you need to do more is you need to, yell at her more. But, overall, you're doing great. The compliment sandwich. You guys ready to do the last word?
Let's do it.
I'm down.
All
I
right.
actually wrote this last word.
Billy,
in,
the last word list comes from, this is our David Letterman moment, comes from the home office at Billy Belmont's house. So the last word is a little game that we play now on the show where I throw out a topic and then one of us says, I'll have the last word on that. And then we all take turns saying whether we love, hate, or say neutral on a topic. But you only get one neutral per 2 hours. So you either have to love or hate the topic, and we all decide what we love and hate.
Sometimes we hate puppies. It happens.
Yep.
I don't hate puppies, but whatever. Puppies meaning the actual animal?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't like anything that has to do with puppies. I love everything. The first topic for the last word is flea markets.
I'll take the last word on
All
this.
right. I'll take the first word on it because I've probably the least been to flea markets. I would say I love a flea market. I love a flea market. I mean, because I don't want to take my neutral on this because I don't know. I've only been a couple times. Now, for the most part, like the thing in Albuquerque is we have the big flea market at the state fair, so that's the one I've been to. I know there's a big one in Santa Fe.
Referred to as the flea market.
The flea market, yeah. and then like
All
everyone.
the other ones have to have names.
When you talk about the flea market, like you go, oh, we're gonna go to the flea market. People always say the same thing in Albuquerque. They go, oh man, that's where I get my socks.
What?
You never had people tell you that they get their
No.
socks at the flea market because they have like really cheap table full of socks.
Really?
No one's ever said that to you.
Nope.
Watch. Ask people if they know anything about the socks at the flea market. I don't buy my socks at the flea market because that's like the one item that I like, the premium purchase item that I wear. You know,
He does.
like,
He goes to skate shops. For
I do.
his-
I'll these like here have like Space Invaders on them, but people buy their socks at the flea market. But like I love that you can go to this place, you can get like a Mexican fruity drink. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a horchata or whatever.
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
bottled.
You can get a luchador mask. You can get like a toy plastic gun that makes cool sounds. You can see weird like booty pants that like fine Mexican ladies will wear and it'll be like on a statue that's only like the lower torso. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Unless you've been at a flea market, Then like there's kick-ass, like you can find some kick-ass vinyl at a flea market. It's weird. Like there's just like a random dude. The one thing I don't get is like there will be a table of like shitty used tools. And I mean like they're like wore the fuck out, and like some dude will just have like a table with just like tools all over them. And you're like, dude, the label's fucking so worn off on this thing, and it's like a drill with the guts just worn out of it. And you're like, well, fuck, man. I'll still look at them. They're all rusty, but I'll look at some shit. I've been to the flea market a while because I work on Saturdays, but I love the flea market.
I'm gonna go with I hate flea market. I hate the flea market, and I will tell you why.
Okay.
Reason number one: it happens during the day. I hate doing anything during the day, especially things that involve being outdoors.
Wow.
That makes sense. That's a good smiley answer.
All right.
Two, I don't really like things.
Yeah.
That's
like
true.
the most important things in my life are my cat and my clothes.
Okay.
Everything else is kind of a nuisance item for me to store.
Yeah.
You don't need a big blow up alien at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you need a?
Yeah.
Don't
No.
you need like a big freaking Raiders quilt?
No,
Some CDs.
no, seriously, I don't
A
need.
Raiders quilt that's been made.
I don't need.
It might say Raider.
I think at this point, like my proudest possessions are like the 3 refrigerators I have, and that's just because they're there to cater for beer.
Yeah.
I have a beer vending machine and a kegerator, and I'm like, but those are special use objects.
That's
you need to
awesome.
sell one of those to Billy and I.
Yeah, you do.
I was thinking of getting a good sign to do the one on the beer fridge and bring it
Yeah.
over here.
Nice. That would
But
be great.
Those are the reasons. I mean, it's great for finding useless crap, but
Yeah.
I have accumulated enough useless crap in my earlier years that it does not appeal to me anymore.
Wow. No, I get what you're saying. I mean, we threw a bunch of useless crap out today, kind of.
Yeah, we did.
We cleared out the house. So you hate it.
And
Okay.
I do it every year. It's pointless to me, and it's not in
Yeah.
a situation I like to be in.
Yeah, like you're like, man, I want to buy some stuff. I got some money. And then you're like, yeah, what do I want to buy? I don't know, nothing.
Nothing.
Socks at the flea market.
Yeah, I'll buy like a new pair of shoes if I have extra money. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay, so I'll take the last word on this, and I fucking hate flea markets, man.
Yeah, I'm the only liker, huh?
And it's the thing where you go there, and it's kind of like a culture now. It's
Yeah.
you go, and then it's people that just don't want to spend a lot of money, and you get it's almost like
It's like a big garage sale.
it's a big like the Walmart of garage sales.
Wow.
And you see some characters there. I've seen 2 fights break out,
Really?
and you
These
know,
are my socks.
And the thing is, and we can buy some socks.
I want
And
some
actually, and the funny
tools.
thing about the flea market is the first time I saw breasts, and it was a guy who had Playboys at his fucking site.
Oh, I was like, some chick's pulling her titties out at the flea market?
no.
Wow.
Okay, so
How do you
first,
hate this?
first time I saw boobs on film was Police Academy, but the first time I ever saw
okay.
like on paper was at the flea market.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
it's-
there's always
it's-
like somebody selling their collection of Playboys at the flea market.
I think I remember that. Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
and he'd also be the same guy like selling knives.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh,
like,
that's the
little
other thing you
little
buy.
boys would always go right to that.
Yeah.
It's like he's got
Okay.
knives, and what's this?
There's always, when you're a kid, I don't mean, I'm just going to say this real
No,
quick.
go ahead.
When you're a kid, there's always there's that infatuation with like Chinese throwing stars, butterfly knives, and large Rambo knives, right?
Oh yeah.
And at the flea market, they have the cheapest, shittiest versions of all those things. You know, and it'll fall apart. It will not cut anything. It will not hold an edge. It's
And
just garbage.
They'll
But
be right next to a stack of Playboys and little
Yeah.
toy guns that make noises.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, and you're
Yep,
like, this
yep.
is totally marketed. I know who this is marketed
Fuck, I
for.
forgot
Oh,
about
man.
the, I forgot
It's
about the
messed up.
knives.
So, and anyway, so when I was a little kid, I remember like, oh man, I want to buy this fucking awesome Dallas Cowboy, like big puffy,
Oh, yeah.
like jacket, and it was the worthless piece of crap that I've ever bought. And the thing is, the cotton started coming out like after a week. And the thing is, it's not even like licensed by the NFL or any team.
Oh,
It's
no.
just like Chinese, Mexican made stuff that this guy will sell you for like $50, but it's supposed to be like a nice jacket. And like starter was a big thing. And the thing about
I remember the starter. People
and-
would get killed for those.
and the thing is, the starter thing, and it'd be all fake starter stuff. It'd be fake Oakleys. You get fake like handbags, and it's just a
yeah.
weird.
It's knockoff Capital City, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I don't like it, and you go there and
All right.
I enjoy, the thing is, and then of course there's babes and but
Lower torso, butt,
lower
mannequins.
yeah, and you think. But yeah, so I hate it. I hate going there. There's dust. There's a lot of dust
Oh,
and
it's
wind.
very dirty. It's a dirt mall. Yeah.
It's a dirt mall. Yeah, it's a dirt mall. I feel like
Yeah.
like vermin walking
That's
around
all it is.
for like
It's-
all the good
it's
deals.
just a dirt mall.
Well, see, that's one thing that's like weird is like when you're driving over, like, you know, you have the thrift store area, and then there's like, I don't know the difference between a thrift store and an indoor flea market. What's the difference? in
Right.
that? What's the difference? But no. But for me, it's like I don't know why you would be like, we're the indoor flea market. Why? Why would you want that?
I don't know, because I might actually
Why
go
do
to it
I
if it's
kick
indoor.
around rocks and hear babies crying?
Yeah, that's true.
I might actually go to an indoor flea market.
See, that's you know, off
air
topic.
conditioned
Off
enough.
my topic, you know, that's my new question for everything. People are like, "Hey, do you want to go to this thing?" I'll be like, "What do you think What do you think the stroller per capita is on that thing?
That's a good fucking.
What do you think that's going to be like?"
Oh, that's a
And they're
good.
going to be like, "What do you mean? How many strollers per person do you think there's going to be there?" You know?
Is everyone going to have one? Or are we talking
Yeah, are we
maybe
talking
just a
like
random?
40%?
Are we
30%?
we talking like 3 strollers for every 10 people?
Yeah. Are we gonna, not a single? I mean, like, maybe the double or triple ones, maybe, because those, because we went to the State Fair that one day, and I'd never seen so many damn strollers in my entire life, and I did not know what stroller technology had done in the last 10, 15 years, and there is so many different options.
Oh, there's some crazy stuff. They have like the bunk style ones.
Oh, they have
got
they
the
have
big
no
wide
no.
ones.
Well, see, here's the thing. There's 2 different kinds, and one you're an asshole, one you're okay, I guess. One is, if you have multiple children, there's one where if you're a nice person, it's like the same width of a regular stroller, but it's 3 deep.
Yeah, it's shaped like
And
a luge.
Then you have the assholes that have the side-by-side 3
Oh,
stroller because they're
fuck
fucking
them.
assholes.
Which is a wall that covers the entire sidewalk. Yes, those are.
Pissing me off.
fucking assholes.
But-
Bunch of assholes.
Okay, so
You want your children lined up like a sled team, just for.
You do. Just so you can get them ready for the Olympics.
But anyway, so
Or pops,
there's
yeah.
somewhat redeeming factors about the flea market. You can get like, a burger and
Oh, really?
like onion rings or whatever, and like I don't know if you live in northern New Mexico, you can get you can get fry bread here. There's always the fry bread stand. That's
Navajo
always nice.
taco.
Navajo taco.
Do they have those at the flea market?
They should. Well, at least up in Farmington and
Oh,
Shiprock.
yeah.
I know how to make those. And plus, you can get those at like any feast day
Yeah.
you go to.
Okay.
There's pretty much someone's always having a feast day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is that Navajos are always welcome.
Yeah.
Well, at least we show up anyway.
I love it. You guys hate it.
Yeah.
All right. So that takes us to our next topic, which is cable television. I'll take the last word on that. I haven't had the last word in a while.
I'll go first.
Okay.
You know what? It's one of those things. I have not had cable in more than 10 years. It's been actually 12 years. I remember the last time I paid for cable was Comcast in Portales when I was living on the corner of Globe and 18th.
Okay.
And I paid maybe $40 a month for just basic.
Wow.
And at one point it's like, wow, I'm paying for all this shit. And this is before, online shows.
Yeah.
And before you can get it online.
Right.
And so even at that point, I didn't think it was worth it. God, there was a big break in MTV, like where I stopped watching MTV.
Yeah.
There was still music on. When I finally watched it again at somebody's house, I was like, what the fuck happened to MTV? And
It got better.
It's debatable. But the thing is,
No.
I want to say that I'm gonna take my neutral because I want to hate it because it brings there are people having ideas to give entertainment to people out there, and it's only the only medium you have is fucking cable television. And so if it wasn't for cable television, you wouldn't have Breaking Bad. You wouldn't have
that's true.
all this other shit.
Well,
I love Batman.
No. When I talk about cable television, I'm talking about like having like Comcast or having like. Let me clarify. You can restart over if you want. I'm talking about like you have Comcast in your house and you have 100 channels, or you have. I thought maybe that's where I read it.
And the thing is about that,
or I'm talking about either like you have satellite or dish or whatever you want to call it.
all of that I've never had to deal with other than in my early 20s. So like I said, I don't have an individual thing. Is if I had to pay for it, I would probably fucking hate it.
Right.
And of course, everyone is talking about how shitty Comcast is. Like even on Twitter, it was one of those things where I would just go on to see. I would just love to look at the comments or at people would message Comcast, and it was just really entertaining to see. I guess they're really shitty. But like I said, I'm going to take my neutral, and I know cable television may be a burden for some people, whether it be too expensive or just not giving what you want, seeing that you have to pay for everything else, but all you want is this.
Yeah.
And, yes, but I love HBO. I love premium cable. I love all that stuff. I just, like I said, I just never had to pay for it in the last 12 years, so I'm going to take my neutral.
No shit, huh? All right.
Well, this is a tough one for me. Because I've never had cable like in my house, so I always think of cable as like awesome because it's it's at a hotel. It's always been at a hotel, so I'm like, oh hell yeah, look at all these channels. Oh, there's nothing on. I don't even care. I just keep flipping through, flip through forever, man. I still haven't made it all the way around.
Oh my sister.
Awesome. Oh, I can put like another thing up that scrolls what else is not going on. I love this thing. Like I've always loved cable because I've always only had it in a hotel room.
Yeah.
I've never been.
You never actually had cable.
I've never been prosperous.
Or satellite.
Oh man. I remember like growing up and then having like the cable box.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have the station, it just wouldn't. It would just be scrambled if you didn't have the channel. But you could actually watch any show you wanted and just have to deal with the audio.
Oh yeah, okay.
It just became a radio show.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I can't see anything.
I remember scrambled like Cinemax.
I can hear Gilbert Gottfried
and
these
people having sex. I'm like, hell yeah.
Bone Thugs.
They sound like they're having a good time.
Okay.
But I don't really know if my opinion of cable matches like nowadays thing because I wouldn't have it in my house. It's pointless.
Yeah.
I have the internet.
Actually, I want to say this is the first time I've taken my neutral in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What are you loving or hating?
He loves it.
Yeah, I've only ever watched or had cable while it was in like hotel rooms or like at my grandma's house or something like where people still have cable.
Even I see people and it's like, oh yeah, I've not even heard anyone channel surfing in the last 5 or 6 years.
I miss channel surfing.
Somebody says like I was channel surfing. It's like what is that? Wow, was it like 98?
Channel surfing's like its own special joy.
Here's the weird thing.
Yeah.
With the commercials, like, and the thing is, like, in cable television, you fucking have to deal with commercials.
Yeah.
But here's the weird fucking thing: is like Shawshank Redemption will come up on like TBS when I'm at my mom's house. I would rather sit there and watch that with commercials than just getting the DVD out,
and you'll have the DVD sitting in front of you.
Which is like 2 feet away, and I can just put in the DVD. But I'd just rather sit there and watch the edited version with the shortened version.
Because it's there.
Because it's there. Yeah,
it's
so weird.
It's
I don't
true.
get it.
Well, this is another reason I've always liked cable. Because usually when I'm like traveling, I'll either be at like relatives' house. Well, this is the only time I have cable. Hotels or relatives' house.
Yeah.
And I'm usually with my significant other or a family member. And this is what I'm used to when picking a program. 40 minutes of going through Netflix, not figuring anything out to watch.
Yeah, you spend more time looking for a movie than you will watching the movie.
Whereas if you're channel surfing on cable, it's like, well, we'll keep flipping back to this channel because we like that movie, and we'll just keep looking what their options are. But we are actually watching stuff.
So, okay.
It's not 40 minutes of indecision. It's like, well, this looks good. Good enough for right now.
So you love it.
I love it, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take my neutral here. I grew up with cable. When I was up until I was 15, we always had Comcast or whoever whatever the people were in town that had HBO, we had HBO, we had Cinemax, and we'd have Showtime. We had all of them, right? So I got to watch all the porn, all the shit. I didn't have to worry about the actual scrambled shit. I got to watch it all.
When was the first time you saw titties?
Oh gosh, I was probably like 7 or 8.
What? That's awesome.
No, my mom I would actually watch a movie with my mom loves horror films. So I saw all the Friday the 13th. I saw all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Didn't matter that I was a kid. And if someone got slaughtered, I got to watch that, no problem. But here's the thing, if there was titties on the screen, she's like, cover your eyes. So I'd have to cover my eyes. But I mean, you don't know that the titties are there until they're there.
Yeah.
So I already saw the titties.
Oh yeah, so I saw the titties. So I'm gonna slowly put my hands up.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Well, and so then I grew up with cable, and so then when we moved out to the country when I was 15, we didn't have it for the first summer I was there, and it was very, very tough. And then we got a satellite dish. And I'm not talking the little DirecTV or Dish Network one.
Oh, like the old school
We had
ones.
the big satellite dish where you had to switch to different satellites.
Satellites?
It had a motor on it that switched.
My grandmother had one of those. It was weird.
They are weird. And the cool thing about them was sometimes you get these weird feeds. And the real weird one was I would try to watch football. And my first hits I saw was Backdraft. Nice.
I don't even remember that movie. It was about fire, right?
No, it's where.
Right?
Okay, here's how fucking my memory is. In Backdraft, he saw the tits because they were fucking on top of the fire engine, and then the siren went off, and they had to freak out and ride the top of the fire engine to the fire.
Oh,
Backdraft.
I do remember that.
Backdraft, yeah. So we had this satellite dish, and they would go to you could watch NFL games on these weird feeds, and they wouldn't have commercials. And so you're watching the game, and then you're like, well, what's going on right now? And you'd see the players just chilling, and you're like, oh, it's a commercial. And all of a sudden the cameraman would all of a sudden the camera would switch to a really hot chick in the crowd. You're like,
well, yeah, because what else would the cameraman be doing? I'm like, well, I'm not supposed to film anything else. Oh, look.
See, they said I was right on the titties. Yeah. But and so that was really funny. So then I left, and then I was in college. We would always either have satellite, we would get Dish Network up for a while till we didn't pay for it. Then they would cut us off. Then we'd go to DirecTV and have that for a while till we didn't pay for it. And then they'd cut us off. And then I would get cable, and we didn't pay for it. They cut us off. Then the other roommate would get all the same things, and you'd go through the house until But
eventually everyone's credit was wrecked.
His credit's wrecked. But so then I had cable. I've had cable my entire life until about 4 years ago, and I cut the cord. I was
the first time I met you. You were in Old Town, and you were watching. You had fucking cable at your house.
Cable, and then I cut the cord, and I was one of the first people I knew of my old friends that cut the cord. Because I was meeting all these people who not only did not have cable, they don't have fucking TVs. I watch everything on my computer. My Mac.
Oh, I haven't watched television.
My Mac.
You have Brian to our crowd who doesn't fucking have this shit. But the thing is, you quickly discovered hipster cable.
But the thing is, I've gone over to people's house that have cable, and this is why I took my neutral, because I would say I love it, but this is why I hate it. So I had to take a neutral. So I've gone over to people's houses that have cable, or I go home and I visit my mom and dad, and I start flipping through channels and I'm just like blown away by all the TV shows I've never heard of. Never heard of. Like TBS alone, you're just like, holy cow, what is this TV show? And I'll sit there and just zone out and watch like crap shit TV for hours.
I see. The thing is, when we did that podcast at the Girl Mageddon house, you were sitting there just enamored by what's going on.
That's exactly the moment I just had in my mind. I was like, because that's the last time I was at someone's house, and I was like, wow, what the fuck, man? Is all this?
And so you're sitting there quiet as hell, and when we're having conversations, and Chris is like, what's going on in the show?
It's a special thing. And the fact that I've only experienced it like on vacations, it makes it even better for me.
Well, but then you're like, well, the one good thing is like you'll learn about some shows that maybe you fell under your radar. But there's also just shit. Like there was a TV show that all they are is they've on TBS, they've taken YouTube celebrities and I don't know if they all live together, but they all got paired up and they have to make videos and then they like eliminate them, you know. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And it was terrible, but that's the problem with cable is that there's so much.
You still watched it
like crazy, and I zoned out, and I realized that because I watch a lot. I watch a ton of TV right now.
Okay, so Chris will wake up. Or the thing is, God, it was really funny because now we have Apple TV, and we have kind of these like sub apps channels, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll wake up or like go into the kitchen, and he's been watching this like wrestling show about old wrestlers living in the house together.
Legends House.
And I was like, what the fuck are you watching? It's like Legends House.
They took all these old this is okay.
Okay, this sounds pretty good though. I'd watch this.
Okay, here's what they did.
I like old wrestlers.
Here's what they did, and we'll finish on this. They took all these old wrestlers from the 70s and 80s. They put them in a house together, and they had to live together for like 6 months. And then they made them like do competitions against each other. All right, now I'm gonna say the wrestlers, right? Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
Okay.
Hillbilly Jim,
I don't know who that
Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart.
No
Okay,
shit.
the old guy, the old guy.
Well, they're all old. Mean Gene Okerlund. They're not all wrestlers, but they're all in pro wrestling. Mean Gene Okerlund, right? Pat Patterson. Tony Atlas.
I don't know who that is.
You had to kind of be a die. He was like really big, like in the independents, and then he did a lot of drugs. And he was in WWF for like a little while. He was Saba Simba, and he was somebody else. But then the coup de grace, Roddy Piper.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh shit!
Yeah. So and it's on. I have WWE Network. I pay for it every month. I don't watch it that often, but it was so entertaining because it's like you have all these personalities, and Roddy Piper was like so afraid like he was gonna hate everybody and they were gonna hate him, and him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan became like best friends. Like he had to go leave and do like a wrestling thing, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan was like, did Piper call? And they were like, no, he didn't call. You sure he didn't call? It was really cute, And Pat Patterson, who was like the oldest one, he was like more from the 70s. He came out on the show.
Gay?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That was a secret?
Well, good for him.
I don't think it was, but it was amongst the.
It just wasn't public.
Right.
Not like super public.
So anyway, that's that's what it was. But we're at the end of the first hour. By far. You guys have anything to plug?
Ah, gosh, I am so done with playing shows. Like I've had two last night I had a show. Friday I had a show. Last weekend I had two, and I have two bands. And the thing is, I'm booking too much. And
You've been playing everywhere, man.
It came to a point where last night at Duke City Sound,
there
was nobody there.
I'm
playing for the other people
I feel like
in the other
your
bands.
band and two other bands in Albuquerque are the only bands that are playing out at all.
And the thing is, it's the shows we get asked to play, and we kind of just say yes, not thinking like, we're gonna burn out our fucking audience.
You are,
and we are, and
you and two other bands.
Yeah, I didn't have time for any of that. I was like,
So yeah, last night I felt bad because really I think there are at the most 2 or 3 people paid to see our band, and this band I played with last night had played, last weekend and 2 nights in a row last weekend.
Yeah.
And those were
Too
good
much.
shows. Yeah, too fucking much. So we're gonna take a break with that band. Hounslow needs to take a fucking break. And Bellama, we had a good show at Tractor on Friday. It was, but it's like a.
I was there. I didn't get to see you play, but I was there before.
It's a brewery, so you're
in a
there.
supportive role.
Yeah, it was good. We had a good crowd. People liked us, and I need to get on this whole people need to buy our merchandise because I need to get on that eventually.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't think I have anything else coming up. I got really burnt out this weekend too. I didn't.
The thing is, the best thing about this whole fucking weekend is the last time I show, I was kind of like, oh man, there's nobody here to see us.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna go home and sleep.
Nice.
And I've seen all these pictures on Facebook of everyone just going downtown. Like Russian Circles played its sister.
Russian girlfriends.
Russian girlfriends played its sister. Everyone's having a great time, and I'm asleep by 12:30.
There was a band that played before Russian Girlfriends, and they covered Fugazi.
That's cool.
That's pretty ballsy. I mean,
I was with you, dude. I was already asleep. I saw the video. I saw the pictures today. I was like, that looked good. I'm so glad I slept 12 hours yesterday.
Oh, it was nice. I woke up and I wasn't hungover, so I get out of bed. We got a couch, guys.
Dude, we had a day today. We got fucking work today.
We got a new couch today, guys. Look at this thing.
Work like a doctor.
Fucking leather. We had to go pick it up.
I just realized
no delivery service. You just kind of have to.
I just realized just now I have my shirt on inside out.
That's tight.
So you don't have anything to plug?
I don't have anything plugged. No.
Yes, you do.
Well, I was at next week's show.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. That's gonna be a party weekend.
And we changed the name of it because there's too many sessions things going on. There's 909 sessions or whatever it's called. There's 3 different things that are called sessions now. So it's gonna be called 10 Drink Minimum Live. Billy and I were drunk the other night walking home, and we decided that.
That sounds fine.
So 10 Drink Minimum Live next Sunday.
Sessions is also
live from YBP Studios in the South Valley. 10 Drink Minimum brings you. I guess 10 Drink Minimum Live.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's YBP Studios. It's probably gonna be about 7 o'clock. The show is going to be earlier, so plan on earlier. We're going to do. Here's everybody's like, well, I don't understand what this is. Here's what it is. We're going to do this show that we do here right now, but we're going to do it in a different location. It's going to be, I think our quality is pretty good, but we're going to do studio quality sound.
Through, Ryan Youngblood's.
Ryan Youngblood Studios, Ryan Youngblood Production Studios. We're going to do an hour. We're probably going to do, I thought maybe we'd do an hour, but I think we probably will do an hour and a half.
That's fine.
Show. And after the hour and a half show, we're going to have the band Russian Girlfriends play an acoustic set afterwards. So you're going to get a show, and we're going to give it to you. So what we're doing is, if you live in the Albuquerque area and you really want to attend, hit us up on Facebook. Hit one of us up. If you don't know one of us, then
if you want to come to this part, because last time we had it at Wes Naiman's photography studio, and that was awesome with the limbs.
We didn't really open it up to anybody.
That's
true.
And
this is as open as it's going to get. It's not going to be just flat out open. We need you to, we need somebody to, say, hey, I'd like to come to this. I haven't been invited, because the invites have been sent out. And if you didn't get one and you want to go, hit us up. It's just here's what we're trying to do. Everybody's like, well, you guys get to get out and do a live show. Well, you go to these venues, and people necessarily, that may be their hangout. And you go there to do a show, and we're there, and they're with their friends, and they're talking as loud as they can, and you're trying to record a show and trying to make it really good for people that are listening to the podcast later. Well, with all that background noise, it's terrible.
The chatter?
The chatter. And it's fucking terrible. And if you show up and you cause chatter, you won't be invited to the next one.
Yeah,
That's just how it is.
It's hard for me, and it's hard for...
It's hard for Smiley, and it's hard for me because I have fucking OCD, and I freak the fuck out, and I can't put on a good show. But we're gonna have beer, sponsored by Tractor Brewing.
God, they offered a keg to us.
They're giving us a keg of beer. We're gonna have a keg of beer. And we're going to have food for everyone.
So, food. And the thing is,
we'll have food. It's
a keg of beer, and that just lets you know how exclusive it is.
It's very exclusive, yeah.
And, hit us up.
You know what? Here's the thing. If there's 5 fucking people there, awesome. Don't give a shit.
That's a fucking great.
I don't care.
So thank you, Tractor Brewery, for offering the free fucking cake.
I just want to throw that, and we'll talk a little more about. Let's talk a little more. Let's talk about it in the second hour. We'll tease that because I want to talk about it because I want to talk about what makes me mad about this show. That's what I want to tease for the second fucking hour because there's some shit this week they have and that pisses me the fuck off. Nothing to do with these guys. It's with people outside who don't know what the fuck is going on, and I'm just I'm a little livid. I'm getting amped right now.
I'm gonna pee, so let's do this.
So go ahead and pee. All right, cool. Okay, so if you want to add us on social media, go to 10drinkminimum.com. All of our social media is on there. You can buy T-shirts. We have fucking kick-ass T-shirts. There's cool smiley ones.
Hell yeah.
So buy some T-shirts from us. Give us some money to help us not work day jobs because I hate them.
And I want a Twitch hoodie, so please watch our show.
Welcome all
and
the people at
subscribe and thank you Twitch watchers because
Yes,
we have a Twitch
Twitch.
watcher.
Billy, mind if I do this first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. We drink when we do the show. You definitely should drink as well. Always remember,
Never get too drunk to jerk. 10drinkminimum.com.
Supposed to live without you. Hear me out, but mine is only me without you makes me it's all that it seems. Waste away on lightning dreams. Why I think I get ahead in a mixed up world that lacks a focus. When it's up, I'm up, I'm up. When it's down, I'm down. When it's up, I'm up, I'm up. When it's down, I'm down. Everybody around the universe. Tonight the island's on fire. A turnstile door, and I'm turning in. You saw the light, you saw the images I project, and I'm so free. Just see this through. And on this day, I sit in shame. You'll see my monsters. You'll witness all the horrors, memories confess. I'm such a mess, but it's not like that today. You see, everything's okay, just second guessing the best things. Yes, all I know, I don't want to go. Please stop the slideshow. Please stop the slideshow. You stare away
Voted Albuquerque's #1 podcast for a third straight time. You're listening to the 3-time champions 10-drink minimum with Chris, Billy, Smiley, and Tommy.
Whoa, we don't have Tommy because it's her goddamn birthday.
Happy
the
birthday,
nerve
Tommy.
of her, the gall of her. That's called a callback. Tommy is celebrating her 56th birthday tonight.
She looks really good for
She looks really good, you know.
Wait, what are you, 56? Is that what you said?
She's
I think so.
56, and she looks amazing for
She said she was going to call in, but she's a liar. Unless she calls it this hour.
Well, when I'm not on the show, I do try to make it a point to call in at least.
You do.
What's up,
You
guys?
do. You do, Billy. Thanks, Billy. I appreciate you.
I still need one of those shows where I actually you're not here, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so there's no so
I would love for you guys to do a show when I'm not here.
I
I
try
think
to do it one
Smiley
time.
could probably run it, you know? He knows everything to open.
I've
It's a lot less now than it used to be.
I've never missed a show. That's all I'm saying.
Dang, I'm saying that. Hey, Smiley, I never missed a show either, man.
That's
It's
true.
so funny because, like,
We have
Smiley...
Enough, we have enough backup members now. I mean,
Yeah.
If like we really need him, we can gank Chase back in.
Why is he not here?
He makes a lot of money bartending.
Oh, I thought he said he was off on Sundays, though. Lies.
He's
All lies.
attempting.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I believe him. I saw his group of new friends on Facebook. It's cool. They're all pretty. They're all really attractive.
It's like, oh, here's me Snapchatting, us running down the trail.
Oh my god.
Doing the Academy Trail.
Well, we have a fourth microphone because Tommy's not here. So our friend Kendra, who was here last week from Furries the Movie, is back with us.
Hello.
You can actually move that like I am. I'm just like got it totally,
I
you
just
know.
have the beer in the way.
Beer's in the way. Oh, there's beers in the way?
Thanks.
Sorry. Never mind. Kendra's not on the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I see. Here.
JK.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
can't let beers get in the way for this show.
No.
She was
We don't.
She was my boss earlier today.
She was.
She was
Yeah.
I heard about
bossy
that.
pants. She was like,
Was I bossy?
no.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do is when I point this way, you look this way. I'm like, okay.
Right.
She was your director.
So
of,
I've heard rumors that I'm really hard to work with. Is that true?
Well, you
I
could
mean,
smile more.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you were good. You were great.
I have a gap in my teeth.
That's funny. That was
Oh.
actually the exact opposite direction that I got this weekend.
And Chris knows how stressed out I was about this whole entire filming today.
I loved it because Billy was stressed. He didn't want to do it, and he's like, "You do it." I was like, "Okay." I totally want. I was like, "I'm in."
And so at
let's
that
do
point,
it.
it's, okay, so if Kendra's okay with this, let me make sure it's okay with Kendra.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's fine. It's like, yes!
Yes.
And so it was like a big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah, he
Because
was
one,
freaking
I was stressed out because one, I got the song done
Today.
3 hours before I had
Right.
to do.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Chris Burnett as Billy Belmont.
Yeah.
on
So
Furries the
meta. So
movie.
meta. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. I played Billy. I played the part of Billy.
That was a slightly confusing post I saw earlier, Mal. That's
Yeah.
weird.
It was pretty funny. And then she's like, "Well, if you're nervous," I was like, "No, let's do it. I don't care. Whatever."
But Kendra can attest to the amount of stress I go under having a camera on me, because I actually had to do the Indiegogo filming
Yeah.
for the campaign, and I was worthless.
No, you were great. You were still great. You were just really nervous.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why.
I don't get it. I don't know why. If it's just the camera, looking into it and people asking me questions and having this idea that I have to be perfect for it, it just I'm done. And so once I found out that I didn't have to play myself, then I was just eating food and eating
I
chips.
want to do a sitcom where I'm Billy Belmont.
And I was dancing around in the where they were shooting, and
Yeah.
it was a good time.
Yeah,
I wanna-
I thought about just shooting you then. I was like, come on, just
Yeah.
turn the camera over there. But I was really happy to have you, Chris.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Well, you
I
were
was having
dressed
you.
up and ready.
Yeah. And I was the person, like, so we go. I want you to know the pre-story. He goes, we're gonna be playing a piano. I was like, oh, all right. Then he goes, oh wait, now you're a cowboy with a guitar. And I was like, okay, I don't have a cowboy hat. And he goes, well, you need a Western shirt. And I was like, well, I have that. So we had to go get that. And he goes, and the cowboy hat. I have the cowboy hat. I'm like, okay. So we're in the house. I'm like, where's the cowboy hat? He goes, oh, yeah. Gets the cowboy hat. So then we drive down the road a little ways. I was like, aren't I playing guitar? And he goes, yes. Let me call her. Calls you, and he's like, do you have a guitar? No. Then we'll go get it. So.
That was a lot of work for 3 seconds of footage.
Yeah. It's
It was
fine.
good.
Thanks.
It was fun, though.
It's cool just to have your names on the.
I have a
name
lot more respect for what you do after today. I had respect for it, but I have a lot more now. Because I have a lot more respect for directors in general now. I was like, now I know what they do. I get it. I get it now. They, like, I didn't know what it, I was like, oh, they direct a movie, They tell people what to do, and I was like, oh, they really do tell people what to do. They actually go, do this. They, like, physically go, when I go like this, you look over there. I'm like, oh, all right. They actually do direct.
So when you have actually people who actually do this all the time and
Yeah.
are professionals at being actors, does it feel sometimes just being like a babysitter?
Being like a babysitter when you're directing them?
Yes.
Yeah.
It can be, but I wouldn't say necessarily with people who are professional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot more like people.
Okay.
They're like, I kind of have to go now, and you understand because it's an independent film. I mean, and
Yeah.
you have no money, so you can't force them to stay. But they've been there for an hour, and you're like, we kind of had 6 hours planned for you. I
Oh, wow.
think you knew.
I tried to
That's
be.
more like
I didn't know.
babysitting.
I don't know what that means to be fair. I was like,
Oh, you're great.
I was very malleable. I was like, you're like, do this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now do this. All right.
I can work all day.
Right.
I just proved that.
Whoa.
What did you do? Did I miss this?
He did a bunch of modeling work.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a big fashion show yesterday,
I knew
and then we had the rehearsal, which took even longer the day before. So,
They have rehearsal fashion shows.
well,
I mean, I don't mean to sound condescending on that.
well, yeah, we had to make sure that all the clothing fit us, that the makeup worked with the clothing, that it worked with the designer.
Wow.
What they wanted the hair to look like with each outfit, and the makeup
Live
to
and
look
learn.
like with each outfit.
Did
So-
you have to work on a walk?
No, I think that's why they hired me.
Okay.
Because you just
Because that's what I thought the rehearsal would be.
I was fine.
And
no,
you're
the,
saying it's not. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, we needed to learn like where our camera cues were.
They're all Fred Durst will be over here.
They're all right.
PD is
Justin
going to be
Bieber,
over here.
P.
You
Diddy.
need 60 seconds in the first room. You're gonna do 2 walk and turns, and you're gonna go outside, and you have a first.
You're going to need to do that
yeah,
thing
but
where
it
your
was very,
head doesn't turn, but your body turns.
It was very choreographed. I didn't know where my camera shots were because
Yeah.
I mean, lots of it's for advertising.
Just look like you
photos.
don't have herpes.
Do you do that thing where you like walk forward with your eyes like straight, and then you turn your body around, and then your head follows the body?
Oh, of course, that's like
Okay.
the first thing you learn.
Hey, I don't know. I'm fucking totally oblivious to this world.
We had a lot of
As
like
you can see
we had
by
a lot
every
of like
part of what I look like.
fringe because it's all leather work, and I had a lot of fringe, so it was very important for me to do spins.
You were like Dennis Hopper and
Just-
Easy Rider.
Just a really pretty version, yes.
Okay. All right. I kind of teased. I wanted to talk about like the next because we have our first 10 drink minimum live next Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday. Monster Truck Show. Not a Monster Truck Show. We're going to be live at Youngblood Productions Studios. Not open to the public. And I want to explain a little bit of why this exists. This exists because people want it. I don't.
Really?
No.
I like them.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
I don't think he does either.
I loved our live shows at the Art Bar. That's when I started.
Okay.
Our bars were fine.
We didn't. But fine. He says fine.
They were
He and I both
fine.
agree on this.
Know what the great part about the art bar though? Fucking free
Ponchos?
Fucking
Beer. Free
fucking free
beer.
ponchos, barbecue.
Free barbecue. Notice you didn't say loved doing the shows. Now I don't want to. The Art Bar. We love them. They helped us out tremendously. Tractor Brewing, Ponchos, whatever. The problem is they had terrible internet. And
Yeah.
we're a live internet radio show. People call us a podcast. That's really not the true terminology. Podcast is something you listen. You can record a podcast, listen, and then put it up days later without ever it being live. We're actually a live web show with call-ins. Now the problem with that is their internet was terrible. And you can attest to this.
I would have to restart the show sometimes 3 or
Constantly
4 times.
fight it. And then I would be on stage doing a show to anywhere from 5 to 20 people. And I'm getting text messages from, people that are out in the world. Can't watch your show. It's locking up, freezing up, sucks, unwatchable. And our numbers dwindled.
They fucking died.
We
had
a lot of shows where, I was having to restart the broadcast.
Yep.
It would go down, coming back up. Go down, I bring it back up.
But we got
the thing is about that, the numbers dwindle, but that's what happened when I first joined the show, because you had your audience with Adam, and you had this I guess crew of like 10 Drink Nation type of thing.
Yeah.
And then Adam left, and then I got on, and then the numbers went like this. And then it took a while.
And they got back up.
They
And then we
get
did the
back
live
up.
shows at the Art Bar, and we got Albuquerque famous, I would say.
There were some other good factors going.
There were, but then like we pulled Smiley in, which was great. Our world audience though went to nothing.
Yep.
Can I have a beer, please?
Of course.
And so then I think we really got into the mentality where this is what we have to do is live shows. And the live shows are so much different than these shows. So then we moved to the Blackbird after Art Bar closed down, we moved back to here. And the only way I can, and I cannot say this enough, that them letting us do shows at the Art Bar was an opportunity that I thought that was amazing. But as soon as we no longer did shows there, we walked back into this studio, and it was like taking off ankle weights that you've had on for a year, and you can fucking dunk like you can't never dunk before.
Oh, and those are great shows.
Remember, Billy and I, we did a show here, and we were like, oh my God, that was amazing, how that felt so good. Wow. I feel like,
well, no, it's
unchained. Unchained is the word I could say.
It's really true, because whenever we do a live show, I never have time to get any words in, because I'm having to work the levels the entire time.
Well, the other thing too is like before the show, there's so much stress involved. I mean, I guess if we were famous and we had a road crew and they did all that work for us, like we were Poison or somebody. But I'm just kidding. That would be fine because we just walk out and do the show. But that's not the case. We have to do all that.
It's just walking after our Bloody Mary bar,
and
drunk as hell.
There was so
it's
many
all set up
fights.
for us. Then I'd be down with that.
Billy and I had more fights than we've ever had.
We fought a lot.
A lot.
Oh my gosh.
A lot during those shows because I was always trying to fight for the product, and Billy was just being Billy. He's like normal, chill, and he's always trying to calm me down because I'm because I personally thought people were attacking me, which I still think, but that's fine. But so getting away from that was what I loved. We came back to our studio, and we've built back our audience, right? So Thursday night, I'm out and about, and I see somebody who's kind of like a mover and a shaker in the community, right? And
media mover and shaker.
Media. So they should know better than what they said. So they say to me, "Oh, hey, man, I just want to say, it's really cool that you guys are still doing your show."
Oh, nice.
Wow. Wow.
As if we'd
How
stopped.
cute.
Oh man, yeah, isn't it? We're just still inking along. We're still, all the while. The truth of the matter is, we've been since we left Art Bar and Blackbird.
Since the live shows.
Since the live shows, we've been rebuilding the audience that we lost in that year and a half. What's more important? The audience in Albuquerque or the audience in the world? It's like, well, I'm more apt to the one in the world, And I was just blown away that this media person, who their company is based on social media, is like more like, wow, you no longer have a local presence. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the local presence, really.
And neither did the fans of the show.
Right. Okay, here's what I've heard since we've left the live shows. Since we've stopped doing interviews. I'm really glad you guys have stopped doing interviews because I didn't know who any of the people were you were interviewing.
You know who said that first to me? It was my brother.
Your brother.
And
my mom. All my friends.
And my brother lives in Florida, and he listens to our show.
No, we don't drink 10 beers every show, but we try.
Yeah, we don't drink 10 beers. But there are those people who think it's a challenge.
It's not.
It's not.
It's actually the actual name, and I've said this 100 times on the show. The actual name 10 drink minimum is a play on the phrase two drink minimum, which a comedy club, if you go to a comedy club, they always have a 2 drink minimum. Well, my thing is like, we're so bad at what we do, you'll need a 10 drink minimum to think we're funny. That was the joke. And people have taken it as a challenge, you know?
I remember the first time when we were doing the show, I don't know if it's the first time anyone's took on the challenge, but when I started the show, it was like, God, 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
We had the band Hughes Ox's Gord from Seattle come down.
True. Yeah.
And so they took it as like, okay, we're going to take 10 shots, and they brought their own fucking whiskey.
Oh, yeah. And we had really good whiskey, and they had really shitty whiskey. They had Old Crow Reserve.
That's pretty good. What are you talking about?
That's
like Old Crow, but better.
Old Crow's terrible.
I like Old. I think my problem is I can't tell the difference between whiskeys.
I'll take Old Crow over Jim Beam.
The funny thing about Chris is he'll go to these these spirits, I guess, connoisseurs or followers, and they drink only whiskey.
Yeah.
And he'll have conversations with them for hours. We went to our first spirits local distillery.
Yeah.
And he was just going off with this guy on whiskey.
You'd be surprised at how many different experts I can sit and chat with back and forth.
And that's so weird because I'm thinking like I can't tell you the difference between Old Crow and like Maker's Mark. I really can't.
Yeah.
That was my job for years.
Well, yeah, he knows way more than we do, but.
But it's funny to listen Chris just kind of like moving and shaking because we went to our first distillery, our first local distillery for the first time last weekend.
Yeah.
And him talking to the owner for God, what was it, like 30 minutes?
You had to make me leave.
It's like we have to go.
Billy is a pro at wrangling me. He's like, Chris, you have 5 minutes, and I go, okay.
And the funny thing is, I feel like it would be a good assistant if you ever won like the lottery.
Yeah,
Because when Chris would be like, everyone would be like, I need this money to do this, and it's like, well. Billy looked at the numbers and
that's exactly how it would be. I would be like, you know what? Your carbonated bottling business sounds amazing. I think we're good. No? Billy says no.
And I would be that guy. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Everything would be no.
And Chris, we have to go. We have to meet some. We have to meet some other people now.
You know what, guy? I thought it was a great idea. But I'm not a numbers guy. Billy's a numbers guy, and he knows. And I'm gonna have to say no. Sorry, I was in. But I drink a lot. So back to the live thing.
Should I mention the number again?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, we have a phone number calling.
This is the second hour. I don't think
we have a fucking chat room. Since we moved back to Twitch, our chat room has returned.
Yep,
remember we used to have always a live, awesome chat room.
It was it was
and
awesome.
It's finally kind of coming back, and I'm glad. I want to thank everybody in Twitch TV that's in the chat room. But say the number.
We have a new number, so if you fans write it down, it doesn't roll off the tongue as much as the last one, but it's area code 505-663-8092.
You know what? I want to mention something about that number. Like, not only is it free for us, we don't have to pay for it anymore. People are calling it. We can actually now call people if we really wanted to. Be like, hey, call this number. We could call. We got to get that payphone number at the Anodyne and just randomly call people.
Oh, that'd be so tight.
They're like, hello.
Hello.
What are you doing?
How many drinks have you had?
But back to the live show thing. So everybody's like, why are you doing the live show? Because every time I go out, everybody's like, when are you guys going to do live shows again? Well, all right, we'll do them. We're gonna do them, but I want to do them on our terms. I want them to be intimate shows. I want them to be where we want, places where we want to go, And so next Sunday, Youngblood Productions. I sent out photos. If you've been invited, I sent photos of the place. Billy's been there. It's a very cool place. To record a show.
It's, I guess, kind of a like property mansion almost kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
weird.
taxidermy things on the wall. You have very old whiskey sitting just as decor.
It's very photogenic.
Yeah, and I'll be sitting in a chair, and there's a bear behind me.
Yeah,
and
there's a bear rug on the floor.
And so I'm sitting in
a
like
grand piano in the background, or what?
It's one of those things where my armrests are antlers.
Yeah,
that's fucking weird.
And the thing too is if we invite you to our show, take lots of photos, do lots of social media, because that's what we do when we go to whenever our friends play a show, we take lots of pictures and we post them online. Do that for us. We're providing beer, we're going to provide food, and we're going to provide entertainment. The band Russian Girlfriends is going to play. They're a punk band, but they're going to play acoustically after our set, and that's the whole thing. It's all going to be broadcast live via the internet. So if you're not invited, you can still watch it via the internet.
This will be their first broadcast too. I couldn't find anything for them to play online.
909 sessions.
So do they have good internet though?
They do. They're very up and coming underground right now.
No, the actual place, Youngblood Productions, yes.
Oh yeah, Youngblood.
That's part of the actual with the venue.
The agreement.
When we go to a venue, they have to have high-speed, good internet.
We have to be able to connect directly in.
Like I want to go over there and I want to do a speed test on your internet. And that's the thing. And like people, like going out in public and going, "Oh man, it's really good to see that you guys are still like doing shows." Fuck you.
It's funny. I actually know this person who said that, and I was like, "Oh damn."
Well, they lit a fire under my ass. It's on.
I actually love criticism like that. We should just write those things down and hang them on a wall. They're so cute.
And it was weird because I went to Yelptropolis on Thursday. And everybody's like, "What's Yelptropolis?" Well, Yelp.
I didn't know what it was. I saw you there, and you tagged yourself in it. I was like, "The fuck is this?"
Well, you wouldn't even if I went, like if you were here and I said I'm going to Yelptropolis, you say I want to go, you couldn't have gone. You had to be you had to RSVP. You had to be invited. You had to RSVP, and then if you didn't RSVP, you couldn't go.
It was packed though.
Okay,
it was packed.
Well, I don't feel as bad now. I was like,
no.
Why didn't you invite me to that?
You had to be invited, and you had to get So I go to this thing. It's where everything seems to be now. The El Rey Theater /
Stereo
bar. And Stereo Bar, for people who don't know, it used to be called the Golden West, and it caught on fire, and the roof burned out. So the people who now own it, they were like, well, the roof's burnt out on this place, so now it's a patio bar. I mean, that's pretty much what they did. And it's kind of actually, I kind of like it. I'm not going to say
best way of
Yeah, I
doing
love
it.
that
I've
place.
never been in there, but all I know is when I'm playing a show at the Launchpad, there's a line to the Stereo Bar, and it's always like
cool.
there was always babes like short shirts and short cut shorts.
No, they do a lot of different things.
And I'm
And you
looking
can
at
smoke inside.
Yeah.
oh shit, you
Yeah.
can.
It's outside.
Yes,
You can.
It's outside because it's a patio.
'Cause it's inside outside.
It's basically a patio. So I go there, and the people I do know that are there, I'm trying to like walk up like any event. Here's what I really hate, and this drove me crazy. All the people I knew, when I usually go to an event, I know some people. I walk up to them, I start talking, we socialize. That's normal, right?
Yeah.
So I go to this thing that's supposed to be like a social event. I mean, there's booths all over the place. It was kind of like a booth. There was booth. They're like
a job fair.
Okay, like a job fair, but nerdier. But there was also, there was like food stuff, like a lot of food sampling, but very nerdy too, like tech side. So I'm trying to talk to the people I know, and they're doing this. They're like they're like talking to me, and they're like, oh, hold on, Ray, are you leaving? Okay, come talk to me. Okay, sorry, go back on your story. Oh wait, hold on, Sarah, yeah. Hi, here, take some stickers. And then the whole time I'm like, God damn, this is fucking terrible.
Well, yeah, it's promotion fair, man.
Well, and these were people not promoting their thing there. They were just there.
Yeah.
Well, they're promoting themselves.
They're promoting
and
themselves.
I'm like,
I do that, but just for like hugs. Hey, you're not leaving here right now. Hey,
Right.
You.
yeah.
You.
Right
Hug me
here.
now.
I feel like they're like that
But then take my card.
all the time,
afterwards.
even if they went to a normal event. So I was like, wow, how sad are you? This is terrible. So then I ran into my friend Kevin, and he was not like that at all. So Kevin and I are like, this place is packed with really like beautiful people, and he's like, who are these people? And I was like, I don't know.
They're called
And
vultures.
And then all of a sudden, he's like talking to this really attractive woman, and a guy walks up to her, and she's like, hey, Bob. And he's like, how have you been? He goes, well, trying to get fiber into the office. And Kevin turns to him, and he goes, I eat spinach. And I look at Kevin, and I go, not what they're talking about. And the guy looks at him like, huh. And then I pull Kevin back, and I go, this is a nerd fair. And he goes, oh,
Fiber
Nerd
optic.
Fest.
Nerdfest 2015.
Which is fine. I'm a nerd. It's fine. But it was a little too much.
I would have said that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if I had said that, they'd be like, ha ha, fucking Billy, this guy right here, get him a drink.
Get him a drink. Not at that place. Everybody had an agenda. It was terrible. And then that was the place where people were like, oh, you're still doing show. It's good for you.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, motherfuckers, I will be,
I'll be back here next year.
Well, were they drinking there?
There was drinks.
Oh, okay. Well, I would have been fine.
I had honey. They were giving away free honey Jack Daniels mixed with cold brew coffee?
Nitro brew.
Nitro brew coffee.
That's the big thing now.
Yeah.
Have you had that before?
I had it.
I had a ton of it that night because I told them.
Right.
As soon as everybody got a free sample, they were like, what is this? And I told them, and they went, don't want it.
Is it brewed with nitrous?
I don't know, but it's cold, and it's poured in a way that you can't pour beer, but it's done from the bottom, and the carbonation and the fucking...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, okay, I understand. So it's done with beer gas, which is a combination of CO2
Something
and
about
nitrous.
that. But the thing about I learned the first day about nitro brew is that it has 4 times
NO2.
more caffeine.
4
than-
times. And I told everyone that, and they went, okay, I got to work tomorrow. And they kept handing me their drinks. So I just kept drinking these honey Jack Daniels and cold brew coffees.
Ah, well, okay, that would have been a bad thing.
Because
So
they give you, like, half a
it
cup, and
is
I had, like,
carbonated.
4
It
of
is
them.
slightly carbonated. It actually tastes like a...
But there was beer and there was liquor.
It's a lot like Guinness,
Yeah.
but a coffee.
Or like metallic a little bit. Maybe?
No.
There was, I don't
It's-
know, I had some and I just know I didn't like it. I got a tester. I was like, no,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
have regular coffee. No.
But, I guess the thing is if you come to our show next Sunday, we're going to put on a show like we do here. And all we ask is you don't talk, take lots of photos, drink the beer, eat the food, and have a good time. If you're like in another room and you're talking loud and laughing, you're probably not going to come back. If you're watching our show and you're enjoying it and you laugh, you'll come back.
If you can make it through watching a movie in a theater,
Yeah.
this should be fine for you.
Yeah.
We have a
want
question.
people to come out to see us.
We have a question from a listener right now, and he's asking, Billy, have you ever gotten too drunk when doing the show?
He's never watched the show because many times.
Many fucking times. I remember a show here where I got up to go pee because I've been drinking the entire time, and from right here, I fall backwards on my fucking ass, and it was on camera, and the show, because Chris will keep talking.
Yeah, I don't
And,
care. I know.
and the entire time,
Man down.
it's probably what you said. Ha ha, man down. But
Anyway.
let me tell you about GMOs.
Yeah.
and so I'm sitting there. It's like, fuck, I am too fucking drunk to carry on.
jerk.
And the entire time, and we do have guests. So my job for the next, I guess, 30 minutes left of the show was to sit in that chair and keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. The best is when I get too wasted. Because there's been like about 4 shows where Billy's like, this show is over. You're drunk at the end.
There are times where I'm like, I do this like, Chris, we're
This
dead.
is over. Cut it off. And I'm like,
we are dead. Like,
This is
There is
just
nothing.
dumb.
There's nothing we're saying is making sense to anybody.
This is
Well,
dumb.
there was times at Art Bar, like it was nice. I was off camera because I'd be like,
Yeah.
And the
'cause-
thing about the art bar is it was free beer. They would hand us pitchers,
pitchers
whole
in there.
pitchers, for
whole
each of
pitchers.
us.
Every
Thank
time
you.
we had an empty glass, we would just have pitcher after
Yeah.
pitcher after pitcher.
Yeah.
And at that point, when you're looking at the second hour, the last 15 minutes, there's really we're slurring our words, and there's nothing to talk about.
Well, see, that happened
Chris
to
would
me.
be like, we could go like 15 more minutes.
No, well, that happened to me last night. So I go to there was on the plaza they had Creative 505 on the plaza. Of course. And so I'd ride my bike over at 7:00 last night, and I run into my friend Kevin, who I run into everywhere now. Well, the only beer there is Tractor, which they used to sponsor us. So I walk up to I get in line. I get up there and I was like, "Hey, do you guys take cards?" And they're like, "Well, let's just say your money's no good here." Well, there's one of two ways you can take that. I'm going to get a lot of free drinks, or I'm not allowed to drink here. I was the first one. So they would not let me pay, and I got hammered in the plaza last night.
And that's the thing about Tractor Brewery is they've always been so good to us, so generous.
So generous, super, yeah.
And
Not a dirty word I could say about them.
And God, wow. I've been
Yeah,
I've
I
had
wear the
been
hat,
plenty of
yeah.
good times on that Tractor.
And they're
beer.
giving us a free keg for next week, so.
Hell yes, they are, and I'm super thankful for them for doing that.
Yeah,
And because they've always loved us, they've been a part of the show. Fucking Skyo,
yeah.
Shaston.
Shaston's not Tractor.
Well, Ontal's
David,
there,
Ontal, and
and they've
Scott.
always come on the show with always lots of fucking beer, and we'll taste
Well, we're
them.
gonna bring Ontal back to do some shows. I would like to have Ontal and our friend Donovan come on and talk about beers.
Okay, because Donovan is
Mr. Beer.
Mr. Beer, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's two things I attribute to me drinking your beer. One, does it taste good? And two, does it get me drunk? Or does it get me buzzed? And that's basically my criteria for drinking
Yeah.
beer. But these two will go off on, like, hops, like pH levels or whatever the shit they talk about.
Yeah. Nitrous. Like, nitrous is the new big... Like, there's always, like, the new thing. Like, in food, it's like sriracha. Sriracha's in everything. We were at 7-Eleven, or no, Circle K, and they have, like, the little, like, churro breakfast things. Well, the new ones have sriracha in it.
Right.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
everything has sriracha in it. But, like, in breweries now, it's nitrous. It's like, ooh, they're going to have a nitrous keg. And I'm like, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So I guess the holy grail for any type of beer I drink, high ABV, low bitter beer face.
Yeah. Low bitter beer face. He's like the Keystone Light. The
Give me
bitter.
malt liquor.
No,
is
no.
what I
okay.
want.
I have to point this out today. Billy and I were up on Tramway, the nice part of Albuquerque, right? Stop at the Circle K, and they had the single beer next to the register
On ice.
on ice.
All right.
They had malt liquors. Then they were all talls. They were all
24 ounce.
24-ounce tall boys, iced next to the register. Couldn't believe it. I was like, how is this not protested in Albuquerque for, the DWIs?
So anyway, I guess in the South that means road beers.
Well, that's what it means here, too. Hey, what are these single iced
Right.
beers next to the register for?
Because here's the thing, like 85% of Albuquerqueans love drinking,
Yeah.
and then
And
2%
driving.
hate it, and then the other ones are just like, I don't really care.
And here's a fucked up thing too: is they got rid of Lyft this week, and
yeah, not Uber, but Lyft, yeah.
and so I'm
We got
reading.
Dr. No-No? He's
I'm,
not on the
I'm reading
camera.
posts online about how like you'll have a spike.
No,
They-
let him
they-
sit there. You move that camera.
So you have a spike in DWIs. Hopefully, that's what they want. And I'm gonna miss Lyft because that was my thing.
Yeah.
Used
Yeah,
Uber.
absolutely.
We got to get to the last word, otherwise we're not going to do any.
Okay.
So we're going to do the last word. Our friend Nolan just walked in. We're going to hand him some beers, maybe.
So Nolan has to plug one thing first. Oh, actually, can we do that at the end of the show?
Yeah, we'll do it at the end of the
Okay.
show. So Let's do the last word. We started late. I think What time did we start doing the actual hour? I think it was.
Restart was
10
at
after?
least 15.
15 after?
Well, that was 15 on the first hour. Second. Well, anyway, we'll go about 20 after. But, we do the last word, which is like the last 30 minutes of every show. I throw out some topics, and everybody goes around and we talk about whether we love or hate that topic, and everybody gets one neutral per 2 hours. Kendra does not. She has not used her neutral because she was not here.
That's right.
Smiley has not used his. Billy and I both have.
I think I used my neutral for the first time in 3 weeks.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Can we save these up week by week? No, that wouldn't be fair.
No.
Like your rollover neutrals?
So I'm going to throw out the topic of breakfast burritos.
I'll take the last word on this.
All right. Billy's going to take the last word. I will take the first word because I took the last word earlier. Maybe we should do that too. Like if you take the last word, the next topic, you have to take the first word. I don't know. Something maybe. So I'll take the first word. It's weird. My dad does not, if it comes in a tortilla and it's breakfast, nope. I love a breakfast burrito. I come from a family of breakfast. My dad is a breakfast guy. Like he'll get up early to make breakfast, and then you get up and you're like, "Oh, you made breakfast?" He's like, "Yeah." So I already ate it. You're like, "You didn't get the rest of us up?" Nah. The biscuits left. You want a biscuit? I did give some to the dog though. Like son of a bitch.
That's kind of like you. Like I'll wake up because you'll make some waffles and pancakes and
I'm a
bacon,
breakfast family man.
and I'll wake up and then it's all gone.
I have a waffle iron man. I'm a breakfast
The house
guy.
smells so good.
I do. I have a waffle iron man. I'll make some breakfast. I'll cook up the house, and I know it'll get Billy. Billy will get up. He'll walk into the kitchen. He'll look around, and then he'll just walk back to his room and shut the door. But man, I love a breakfast burrito. And the thing about Albuquerque is, man, we have breakfast burrito arguments in this town. You're like, who has the best breakfast burrito? People
And
are
the thing is,
Golden Pride.
you'll be surprised by my answer about breakfast burritos after this freaking argument. We've always had arguments about it.
I'll eat some Golden Pride breakfast burrito. That is a tasty breakfast burrito. I will eat a breakfast burrito. Couldn't call. I'll eat a breakfast burrito from Blake's. Blake's is that's a marathon breakfast burrito. And I say that because you eat that breakfast burrito, it may not be the best in town, but it will last you the day. I mean, there's just different, they have different, attributes.
All right.
I'm trying to think who has, Blackbird had a really great one. That was a really great one. But I love a good breakfast burrito. And every day at work, we have a guy that comes in. And you have a guy that makes burritos. So he doesn't work for a restaurant. He makes them at home, I assume. And he is like the most enterprising burrito guy I've ever seen in my life. Like he comes in, he doesn't speak much English, but he has bacon breakfast burritos, sausage breakfast burritos, chicken fajita burritos, carne asada breakfast burritos. Then he does chicken teriyaki and enchiladas. And he drives around it. I don't know how early this fucking guy gets up. So the other thing that's crazy about this guy is you don't have to have cash. He's got the cube thing on his phone. So you can use your card when he comes in. He comes in 5 days to my work a week, and he has the best burritos. But I will.
What
eat
I want to
some
see
burritos.
is like
Love
when I
them.
go to the flea market
Love
and want to buy the used Playboys. Does the guy have a cube square?
Does he have the cube square?
Can I buy a porno off him? That's all I care about. So Kendra, you're next.
I love breakfast burritos, but I actually don't eat tortillas.
What?
So I always.
So you hate them?
No. So
no, I don't think you do.
For example, there are some places I go and I order the burrito and then I just say make it a big mashup, put a bunch of cheese, green chili on it, and it's awesome. I love it.
I don't know if
I just eat the insides. It's still a burrito.
No, it's not.
Do you
It's
get the
not.
tortilla and dump it out
What
and
makes
then
it a burrito? So
away?
you hate them. You hate them.
No, actually, I love the insides. I love them.
Do you
for
hand the tortilla
inside.
to some poor person in the street?
How's that a
No,
burrito
I
then?
throw it on the ground
It's
and
not
I
a burrito.
stomp on it in front
Wow.
of people.
Okay, Kendrick, will you say you hate
Sorry?
do you hate tortillas?
I do hate tortillas.
Then you hate breakfast burritos.
Yes.
No,
That's
I
the
love
logic
breakfast
behind it.
Billy.
burritos.
I'm with Billy.
That's the logic behind it. So
Yeah.
please say that you.
Okay, I have a question then.
Okay.
Let's say that you didn't want the bun on a hamburger. Is it still a burger?
No, it's not.
What is
It's
it
a
then?
fig-
It's just
it's
a patty?
It's a meat patty.
It's
I
a
like
meat patty.
patties.
I love meat
ground
patties.
But you wouldn't say that. You would say you still love hamburgers. You just
No way I
No,
would.
Nope.
it's not a burger without the
Okay.
patty.
So yeah, Kendra, please say you hate breakfast burritos.
no. I get to choose.
I like Michael Jordan,
I
but
love
don't like when he
breakfast
wears
burritos
shoes.
without tortillas.
No.
Okay, well,
I'm not taking a neutral.
I'll take the stand.
Okay.
I hate breakfast burritos because I want my breakfast separately and I don't need a tortilla involved. I like the eggs.
Separately from what?
I
You and I have
like
become
the
enemies, son.
potatoes. I like the chili. I like
see.
the cheese. I like them segmented out onto a plate. Yes, you could mash all these into a tortilla and call it a burrito, but I don't like the tortilla and I don't want it to be there.
What the hell?
So I don't like breakfast burritos.
I like how you did air quotes when you said burritos.
Yeah. It's like, do I call?
breakfast
Do I even call it that?
burritos.
Well, it doesn't have a tortilla in it, so it's not a burrito. So I hate breakfast burritos. I want all my breakfast segments separately on a plate.
I like my shit in a package, son.
Yeah, see, but what? I might as well just have cereal at that point if I'm in a hurry. I want to enjoy my breakfast.
I'll eat both. I like both.
I'll take a stand on this because I have the last word, and
Boom, boom,
I'm going
boom,
to
boom.
start
The last
out
word,
by
word.
saying, but the last word goes to Billy, and I will say I hate breakfast burritos.
God damn, what planet do I live on?
Yes. So I made it a point when I first moved here. It's a big Mexican staple. Like,
Yeah.
it's a breakfast burrito. It's usually either eggs, hash browns, or sometimes beans, like bacon or sausage. And it came to a point where I started hating tortillas.
What?
I started hating them. It's a weird
There's
aftertaste
not much
in my
of
mouth.
a taste to it.
And so I made a point maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I actually looked back on my Facebook feed of finding the best breakfast burrito in town, and I always thought it was Blake's, and
No.
it was always arguably it's Blake's. It's in my opinion, it's Blake's, and and it came to a point, one, I hate tortillas, and two, they got smaller throughout.